The Aristocrat tells the story of a 53-year-old traveling salesman named Mark Ward, who is quitting his job. He has $30,000 in the bank and he's going to live off it for a year. And his last week on the job, he has to take around his replacement, a young kid named Eddie Kent. And as is Eddie's nature, he involves himself in Mark's relationships, creating new ones, destroying some old ones. And I think that's a good place to jump into the story, because where it goes from there gets pretty interesting. Sometimes I think, wow, it took you 3 years to make a movie, what's wrong with you? But then I realized, no, that's about the average. It's about 2 to 3 years of your life if you're going to make a feature. My name is Croteau. I'm the Associate Director of the Film Department here at Boston University Center for Digital Imaging Arts. I'm also the co-writer and director of The Aristocrat. I can say with certainty that the reason The Aristocrat exists is due in big part to BUCDIA. And it was actually here that I met Rich Stack, who is my co-writer. And we kind of realized that while we were pretty good with story and ideas, we might not be the best with things like money and scheduling and organizing. And it just so happens that there was somebody here who was Rachel Luskin, and Rachel became the producer of the film. And really it started snowballing from there, all, sort of the way down, really from, the producer down to occasional PAs. CDIA offered us the resources. Production of the film happened in October and November of 2007, and then continued for about 12 days in the spring of 2008. The graphic design of the posters, I think we have an incredibly striking poster, and that poster was designed by Joe Como, who is a graphic design instructor here, and it was photographed by Brian Tetro, who is a photography instructor here. Our film takes place in 1989, and when we realized that as good a job as we did to stay true to that, there happened to be a Prius in the background of one shot, we were able to go to the 3D animation department and get the Prius painted out. Or there was a modern radio in one of the cars we were shooting in. They built an entirely digital radio and composited it right in to fit the time period. I think even if you're making a movie with very little money, like we were, compared to, what movies cost, you're still working the way Hollywood is working, and the way that Hollywood works is a synthesis of disciplines, from graphic design to 3D animation to still photography to all of that. All of those things are playing in, and it's really no different here. At CDIA, we manage to have every discipline you need to make a film, and as a result we were able to call upon that. The Aristocrat was shot completely tapeless on the Panasonic HVX200, both with cinema lenses and without. The film was cut on Final Cut Pro, and we did that ourselves, working on our own editing suites. Once picture lock was done, the color correction was done on a DaVinci at National Boston, and the audio was mixed using Pro Tools at Rumble Strip, which is also in Boston. Hopefully be a link on the CDI website to buy a copy of the movie in the next couple months.